mesmerizing, our little countdown.
I know. Well, the music's new. Like that was not a thing.
I dig it.
Yeah. Okay, guys. For those of you that don't know us, I'm Liz.
And I'm Meg.
And we are the hosts of the Space Cowboys podcast.
Yes, we are. But there's no Roswell, so we've taken it past Roswell, expanded our galaxy, space things. Yes.
So yes, this podcast started out of love for Roswell, New Mexico, the amazing show on the CW network, and we want to keep it going. Okay, the show has not come back yet. They are filming. So what we've been doing is hosting each other, doing some, pop culture roundups. And for those of you that are loyal listeners, you know that Meg is the most organized person ever and that I am not. And so today I am throwing Meg for a loop, and I have a complete agenda that I have not shared with her. And it's going to be awesome. We're going to get Meg real time.
Yeah, like no notes. Off book.
No notes. Okay, so first up, what I thought we could do is just do like a quick pop culture roundup. Like there's a lot going on right now, right? Mm-hmm. There is a lot of news, a lot of TV news. Okay. So here we go. Probably the biggest news of the week, if not the month. We're only 3 days in, but whatever. Warner Brothers announced today that it's going to release all of its theatrical releases on HBO Max plus theaters.
Getting with the times. Yes, like that's what they should do. I feel bad for like theaters and whatnot. Like I will be back in the theater when it's safe to be back in the theater. Like please don't go away. I don't know, get an Etsy shop, start selling some popcorn.
Yeah.
I'm coming back, but like I'm really excited to get to see these movies, even though it's not like in theater. Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
Which one are you most excited for right off the bat? Like what are you most excited for that you have to watch now?
I want to watch Wonder Woman.
I know.
My gosh. And like it's set in the 80s, right?
Mm-hmm. Like 84, girl.
I was a ripe age of 1, or I was like barely born in 83. Mm-hmm. So we're going to call 84 my birth year mostly. That's when I came to existence. I was only alive in 83 for like 3 days. So, and for those of you who can do math and are paying attention, that means it's my birthday month. So feel free to start showering me with your presents.
Happy birthday month.
Thanks. You'll forget because it's between Christmas and New Year's and nobody remembers, but
I do.
I appreciate you. You do. Of course you do, because you're my soul.
I know.
My soul sister. I'm excited for that. Like I love 80s pop culture. I love when things like look back at the 80s and it just shows like the fun part of the 80s and not like the really bad fashion. Mm-hmm. It's like the best parts of the 80s. So I'm excited to see like how they portray it. And
totally.
Wonder Woman.
Gal Gadot. Chris Pine. Chris Pine.
I'm sorry. I love a lot of the Chris's, but he's like my top 2. Him and Evans. Like give me a cable knit Evans.
And a pinky ring Pine.
In the 80s? Yeah. Okay. We're good. Mm-hmm.
I know. Well, we're also going to get, so that means we are going to get the sci-fi epic Dune streaming on our home screens. That's pretty incredible. Of course, that stars Timothée Chalamet and Mr. Poe Dameron himself. I think that I'm pretty pumped about that. We actually bought a new TV. Like, you're pulling up which?
The news. I want to see all the rest of the movies. I didn't realize Dune was on that list. Can you give us the list? What's the list? Do you have it?
So I took some highlights from the list. Hold on. Poe Dameron, of course, meaning Oscar Isaac. Here, let me pull this up. As you all know, we started doing these live streams for our podcast, and sometimes it like makes my computer like.
Oh, I can pull it up.
She chugs. Oh, I know. I have it here. Dune, Matrix 4, Keanu. Suicide Squad.
Hang on, pause. So Matrix, like, how did that end? I thought, like, didn't they, like, figure it out? Like, what can they possibly do?
Well, hold on, because it's going to do a whole on tangent, girl. Okay.
Keep going.
So the lineup of the 17 films that Warner Brothers will release on HBO Max in addition to theaters: The Little Things, Judas and the Black Messiah, Tom and Jerry, Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, Those Who Wish Me Dead, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, In the Heights, Space Jam: A New Legacy, The Suicide Squad, Reminiscence. The White Claw's kicking in, so don't judge me. Dune, The Many Saints of Newark, King Richard, Cry Macho, and Matrix 4.
Okay, I also have to say In the Heights. I'm super excited about that. I didn't realize that was one of them.
In the Heights, of course, is Lin-Manuel Miranda. And it's going to be incredible. Okay, so we have all of these. See, I'm excited about this because of a few things. Even though the vaccine is like coming out, the vaccines, whatever, I still think we have a long period in 2021 where even if, you know, the infection rate is down, and I mean, people are still going to be scared. You know, I think I would have I'd probably be singing a different tune if I didn't have young kids, but it's just like, and you know me, I love this. I mean, like, Eric and I would go to the movies once a week. Like, I'm obsessed with the movies. It's my favorite. Flicks Brew House. If y'all have one near you, it's incredible. And there are several like it, but you know, it's just, they've really turned it into, theaters are becoming more and more of an experience. And it's so sad that we can't have them right now. And I hope they make it, and I hope they hold out. But I think this is still really special and cool. I'm curious how. And I feel like we need to have some sort of like tech expert. We should probably bring Eric down here to talk about that. Eric, come here. You know, it's my husband / Pure Fandom's unofficial chief technology officer. I'm curious to see how this affects movie production and release in general, or how it affects streaming. Like, what will happen? I mean, who knows?
So is Dune what you're most excited for
out of that lineup? Yeah, Dune. Well, yes, but then there's, you know, Mortal Kombat, Suicide Squad, James Gunn Suicide Squad, Matrix.
That 4. I have so many questions about that, because it's like they're kind of just doing a redo, right? Like,
I think, but a lot of, I mean, Margot Robbie's still in it.
Yeah, and like a couple of them are still the same characters. Man, I wish we could do that on like a couple things that came out. Like, how do we get like a redo on like the Gilmore Girls revival? I loved it, but I don't watch it.
I know.
Like, I loved the sentiment and the nostalgia it gave me. But I had like a list of things in my head I really wanted it to do, and like a 25-minute random musical in the middle of it wasn't one of them. And I love musicals, as you know.
I feel like it was maybe a little more like real than we were all expecting. I didn't remember not liking Rory that much.
Oh yeah, I was not. But like, when's the last time you did a proper rewatch? Because now I don't know if it's just because like in my 30s it hits different. Like, I'm like, what? Get your life together. What are you doing? Like in the later seasons, even.
Yeah.
But yeah, revival Rory, not a fan. Like, I don't think it's sexy to be like banging your ex who's engaged. Like,
absolutely not. And you would think she. I don't know. I didn't like how it's. I don't know. And I think it's because I've had a couple kids since my last rewatch, where I really empathize with, I mean, I think I just had Val the last time I watched it. So it was like, you know, being a mom was like real fresh. I didn't have like that perspective. And now I'm just like, Lorelai, why is she not I don't know. I just felt like she should have been given a little more of a break. But that's also reality. It's like all single mothers need more of a break. All mothers need more of a break, particularly single moms.
Right.
So, I don't know. When I watch something, I want to escape. I want to be transcended, like my next topic, The Undoing, which you need to watch.
I am watching it.
So, this is hilarious.
No spoilers.
I won't give you any spoilers. I mean, it's, it is what it is. But what I think is so hilarious about the show is that first off, mind you, I enjoyed this. Okay. So for those of you listening and you're like, stop hating on the show, I am not hating on the show. But what I would like to point out is that it is basically a big budget soap opera. Like 100%. The drama, the coats, the Botox, the hair. I mean, she is rocking Far and Away, that Tom Cruise film? Yeah. She did. It is Far and Away hair, fabulous, with Big Little Lies wardrobe. And I mean, it's fantastic. She looks amazing. And I'm talking about her Botox, saying like, I want it. If that's what I'm going to look like. But I follow, for those of you, I'm sure several of you do, Ira Madison III. Do you follow him on Twitter, Meg? Well, he's not on Twitter anymore. He was banned from Twitter.
Why?
So you need to follow him on Instagram. He's freaking hilarious. It literally is like the highlight of my day to get his newsletter. It's amazing. So
looking it up.
And of course now my computer's chugging. I'll pull it up on my phone. But he had these quotes about this dang show. It was just hilarious. What did he say? Well, I don't want to give you any spoilers.
So I'm on the third.
I can't tell you because it'll. Okay. Well, first off, everyone subscribe to the third Ira Madison III's newsletter. Watch The Undoing, and then we'll talk about it because his commentary is freaking hysterical.
Yeah, I'm on the third episode. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what's going to happen.
Can you tell me without me giving anything away?
Okay, so here's where I am. She's at like the cabin or the beach house, or I think it's a beach house. And Hugh just showed up. And Jonathan or something, his name is.
Wait.
Just.
Okay.
So he just showed up, and then she called the police. And said,
okay.
My husband's here. He broke in. I sort of have an accent, but I don't. And my hair's fabulous. And so I think that's like going to start the next episode is like the police coming. So I think, first of all, in the first episode, before she even left the party, I was like, you did it. And I was like, at the very least, he's sleeping with her. And then, he's like, I didn't kill her. I just banged her. And then I left. And then I banged you. And so I think she did it. I think Fabulous Coat Lady did it.
Nicole.
And she's a bit cray.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to find out she's a bit cray.
Okay.
And I think that her lawyer friend Sylvia, yes, of course I know her name, but not the main characters. I don't know why.
Grace is the main character.
Okay, yes, Grace. Yeah. So I think Sylvia is definitely more involved in some shiz than she says because she seems to know everything that's happening. And I thought it was very interesting. The cops were like, when did you find out that she was killed? Like what time and who told you? I think that's important for some reason.
Correct.
So yeah, I'm about halfway through. I feel like I want it to be really shocking. So I'm trying not to like overthink it because I tend to overthink it and then figure stuff out. I'm trying to watch it as a watcher and not as a writer is what I'm saying. That's my goal.
Well, it's so fun to theorize though. Like it's really, really fun to theorize. So if you want to like message me all your theories, I won't tell you anything. Okay. I will not tell you anything. But I would love to hear your theories.
Yes. Also, like, she does look fabulous. Like,
she looks amazing. I mean, she always does, but this is just like the glamour. Okay. The glamour is incredible. I love it.
Absolutely. And I had to like Google how old she was because, I mean, I'm in my 30s, and I'm pretty sure I could play her grandmother. She's 53. Are you still there? You're chugging. You're chugging. You're getting blurry.
Oh, sorry. I'm cutting. You have second technical difficulty. Hi, technical charging.
Okay.
And it's hi. Not sure what's going on.
That's okay. I'll share more of my theories while you're fixing your computer. So I feel like that dog story is going to be important. Go ahead, guys. It's cool. You're still hot, even though you're blurry. Hi, Rick.
Hey.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't want the stream to drop, and we're having just some slight technical difficulties here. Oh, wait. Are we back?
Yeah. You're good.
We're back.
Hi.
Okay. Thank you guys for sticking with us. I'm so sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties, but we are back. Thank you to my husband for your special cameo.
Yay, Rick.
My computer was not charging, and this live streaming business chugs like all of the computer, and I didn't want our stream to drop. So.
Yay.
Okay. Perfect. Now, so do you have any other theories?
Did you hear me when I said the dog story?
Yes.
Okay, so I feel like that whole dog story is going to be like weirdly important, and I don't know how or why, if it's just going to prove that maybe the mom is like a liar. I also feel like all of her therapy sessions where she's talking about cheating are going to be important, because maybe she wasn't talking so much about her client so much as herself.
Okay.
Projecting, maybe.
See, that's my big theory too.
Yeah. I get sad though when I have really big theories and then it's like, no, it's exactly what you thought, and there's nothing fantastical about it. Look at this beautiful coat, you know, which I think I'll be fine with, because my expectations for pretty much anything in 2020 are quite low.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm enjoying it.
Good. I'm glad, because I know you love yourself a good murder mystery.
I do.
And you and I share our love for just soapy hot messness. And so that's why I immediately was like, you need to watch this. I think you'll enjoy it.
And I got Mike to watch it. Mike Bonney, who is not a soapy murder mystery watcher. He didn't really start watching it so much as I guilted him into staying on the couch by me while I watched it.
Right.
I kept seeing him watch it. And I was like, it's only 6 episodes. Just do it, you know?
And does he like it?
He doesn't like it, but he'll keep watching it.
Okay.
He thinks it's super over the top soapy, which to him is like in the cons of a pro-con list. But he's curious to see what happens. But he thinks it's going to be more predictable than like a wild theory. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay.
You know.
We shall, or you shall see.
I will let you know, though.
Okay. Thank you, Boo Boo. All right. Next pop culture topic I would love to dive into. Okay. David Boreanaz, who, of course, played Angelus on Buffy the Vampire Slayer seasons 1 through 3, and then went to do his own show, spinoff Angel, which is also wonderful. He's under some fire. Okay. He recently came out. Well, let's just preface it with this. When the Entertainment Weekly did the Buffy reunion, I don't even know how many years ago that was because time is irrelevant to me now. But that beautiful shoot where Buffy was in that black tulle, Charisma Carpenter said, I have been waiting for this, served herself up on any and every prop that was on that set. And Joss, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and James said, Spike, of course, said that, Buffy's one true love, if we're doing typical definition, is Angel. And it was out of that whole shebang of, her coming back from the dead with Spike. And it was more of like, they had said Spike served that purpose of reviving that humanity in her, that human piece in her. Because, when you're dead and you're at peace and then you get brought back, you're like, WTF, like, what is happening? Mm-hmm. So just to preface all of this. And to me, I felt like that was, and the way they said it way more eloquently than I am saying this right now. And I feel like it was said in a way to where I was fine with it. And this is me not telling you guys my thoughts on all of this. Then David Boreanaz has to get on some sort of Zoom interview. I don't know what it was. I didn't even look into it. And he says, Angel's Buffy's one true love. That's it. And it caused up a Twitter storm. Meg, your thoughts?
I have many thoughts, and I'm so glad you asked. And also, I think you put it quite eloquently, just FYI. So I disagree. I feel like if we are comparing ships here for a second, calling Angel Buffy's one true love is fine. But I feel like it's more of a first love situation. Mm-hmm. And it reminds me of how Dawson and Joey are like this first love, always linked. You're kind of always going to have like a piece of each other sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't mean like as adults they were good for each other. And that's how I feel about Angel and Buffy. I feel like not even taking like the Spike aspect out of it, because I loved Spike and Buffy in the comics. Oh my God, they're amazing in the comics.
Incredible. It's if you want more Buffy, we don't need a reboot. Go read the comics, guys. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Their friendship / relationship, like it's so fulfilling in the comics, and I love where it went. And my biggest thing with it is I think that Cordelia in Angel, like they were so perfect for each other. Yeah. And the way that she kind of pulled him out of his shell, like he was broody and like, burdened and all of those angsty things with Buffy because he had to be. And like, she just kind of reminded him of his like darker self. Yeah. But with Cordy, he was like silly and funny and danced. And it was like, he got to be a different version of Angel that I don't think he realized he could be. And their relationship, I felt, was like, of all of the relationships in the Buffyverse, my favorite. And they kind of did her dirty at the end, as we know. And like there was like behind the scenes drama and all that. But
and Chris Carpenter has said season 4 should not be counted.
Yes, and I think we would all agree with that as well. But I loved their relationship and their friendship, and it really did feel like Angel and Cordy were like the Pacey and Joey of the Buffyverse, because they just brought out the best in each other, and you would never have put them together in the beginning. Like you would never have said like, oh yeah, those two in the library in Buffy season whatever, 1 or 2. Like they had such good chemistry, and she knew exactly what he was, and like didn't fault him for being a vampire, didn't fault him for being broody, just like poked fun at him, and like I loved them. I think that's my biggest beef. It's not about Buffy, it's about Cordy. Like I think Cordy and Angel were a million times better for each other in the end. Maybe you can't really count Angel's in younger years because like dude's 100 million years old, right? But I think that they ended up being so good for each other on that show. And then Buffy, same deal. Like as a teenager, sure. Could you imagine like if everyone was reduced to their first love being like the only person they could love?
Is it bad I don't like remember?
Exactly.
I literally don't, like, if I'm thinking about my first love, I mean, like, I'm immediately going to, like, my college boyfriend or something, but it's like, when I'm younger, like, I feel like I don't know. I just feel like there's so much growth from when you have that love where it's typical when you're in high school. High school is It's a whole thing. And so when you're with someone, that someone is complimenting or should be complimenting what's happening to you at that point in your life. And so when I look at Spike and Buffy in rewatching, because you and I rewatch the show all the time in specific episodes. And when I rewatch season 6, I think it's almost like, and taking out the notion that the show, was ended and then picked up. And so it's like, I'm not sure how much was actually planned in this or how much just kind of like came about because of the behind the scenes. But when Buffy, her dying, it's like when you experience something so traumatic in your 20s, whether it's someone passing away or just like coming of age into like adulthood proper, it's a fucking moment, like it's a whole thing. And so what made that relationship so beautiful was that he was going through the same thing, just in his own Spike world. And to see them have something beautiful among all of that crap and darkness, I think that's what made their relationship so special. Mm-hmm. And he's like, his character's amazing. Like everyone, he's hilarious. He's witty, he's funny. Like, could you imagine writing for Spike?
Oh my God, how fun.
Mm-hmm. Writer's dream. Yeah. So I digress, but yes.
Okay, I just realized, and it gives me more credibility. But yes, mm-hmm. I did marry my first like real love.
However though, but no, I mean,
for a bit in our 20s, we grew,
that's what I'm saying.
And then we came back together.
That's right.
Yes. So I say all of that being someone who married their boyfriend from when they were 18 years old, which is basically Buffy. So,
Well, but no, I want to point out though, like, and of course, we won't get into your personal stuff, but for conversation purposes, do you think you would have the depth and like, deep love that you have with him now had you guys stayed together from when you were in high school to now, or when you broke up, you saw some shit, you see the shit you see when you come out of high school, and then get back together? Like, do you think it would be what it is now?
No, I think the growth in between made all the difference. And like, I guess that could be a case for Buffy and Angel coming back together, but I still say no. I say no to that. I say him and Cordy all the way.
Right.
And then what Buffy and Spike ended up becoming, because it was like there were Buffy and Angel were two sides of the same coin. Like they both had such like a martyr complex, and they were just like, they had these missions that they had to do. Like they needed to be with someone who could see them for what they were and wouldn't be like, okay, let's go be heroes every single day. Like they let them just like breathe,
It's almost like the reality check. They're the slap in the face that brings you back down to what this really is all about, this thing called life. Yeah. And I love that.
Yes. So.
See, look how well you're doing with off-the-cuff podcasting with my scribbled notebook agenda.
Yeah, I must have asked her like 4 times today, like, do you have a Google Doc? Like, are you sending me a Google Doc? And like her and my husband, they podcast on a different podcast. They do the Fandalorian. It's Mandalorian Pure Fandom podcast.
Right.
And it drives me insane. They don't have a Google Doc that they go off of. They just have some topics and then they talk, and it like works. Like it's perfect. But for some reason I need like structure. But I love this. This is great. I'm just drinking.
You're just drinking
questions.
And talking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think what's even more anxiety-inducing for you is half the time we don't even have the topics.
Yeah.
We just go. I mean, this is prepared for me. This is really prepared. Okay, so the next topic I want to bring up is the House of Dragon concept art. This is terrible. I don't remember the Game of Thrones sister series because for those of you that are rewatching Game of Thrones, which I don't think like anyone is, or watching it for the first time, Pure Fandom has a Game of Thrones podcast. Oh my God, what was it even called?
A podcast
remembers.
Remembers?
Oh, and where my husband and I nerd out literally the encyclopedia of the mythology.
Is it a podcast remembers?
A podcast.
It was so good. Go watch it.
It was really good. Okay, my research skills, I'm telling you this. Well, what's so fascinating about George R.R. Martin is that what he did with Game of Thrones was taken from a lot of our world history. And so that's what makes it very interesting to read. So if you're a history buff, super exciting, go check it out. But this week, the Game of Thrones concept art, or Game of Thrones sister series House of the Dragon concept art was released of what the dragons will look like. Spoiler alert, it looks nothing different. Doesn't look different at all from the other dragons. I think they're just looking for some news to put out. I'm still excited about it. I am. I think it's going to be interesting to see like a bunch of incest and a lot of dragon CGI. Like I'm wondering, and maybe this is where we bring up a podcast for members and we do the the Fire and Blood book. That's all about the Targaryen history. I don't know. But I'd be curious to hear y'all's thoughts. There are 4 of you watching, so you can type in the chat. Are you excited for House of the Dragon? HBO's Game of Thrones sister series.
So it's like, how far in the past is it?
I think like 100 years. It's like I think it's Dance with Dragons. Like that's when they when Earthang went down and when they started caging dragons up and stuff. Because that's when like most of the drama was. Like way back, like 300 years ago. I think his name was Jaharis, I think, because that was Jon's rumored name. And that Targaryen was like, he was like the solid dude. It was like a whole time of peace. He was doing some nice stuff. Like everyone was getting along. And so I don't see why that would be like good TV. And Dance with Dragons is when everything went down. Like brothers and sisters were doing each other, killing each other. Dragons were fighting, battles. It was a whole situation.
Can we just like have Game of Thrones without incest?
Mm-mm. It's a part of it, girl.
But it's really hard as a person who watches shows to ship things. To be like, do your brother. Woohoo! No.
I know. Well, and like the whole cousin thing too. Like I'm reading this series right now. And I won't say it in case you guys are reading it. And I love it. It's fantastic. It's like a fantasy epic. And like the main character is in love with her cousin. And they're like making it fine. And there was like one line that was like, because it's the cousin of blah, 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 there really isn't any incest or something. I'm like, girl, that's still incest.
Right? If you have to qualify it, it might be incest.
Right. So I don't know. And I just don't see why they had to do it. Like, I don't know why that had to be done that way. I don't
understand.
I don't either. But it is what it is. Okay. Incest. Check. Next topic. Florence Pugh, of course, of Midsommar, Little Women fame. She's absolutely wonderful. If you don't follow her on Instagram, she's like adorable. She also plays Yelena Belova in the Black Widow movie, whenever that'll be released,
someday,
as Natasha Romanoff's sister. Well, that character, it has been announced, of course, with no comment from Disney, will be joining the Hawkeye Disney Plus series.
Oh, that's interesting. That's like really interesting because like I gave zero ish F's about that series, and I was gonna watch it because of course I will.
Right.
But now I'm like more interested. So that's
I know.
When is Black Widow coming out? I feel like the trailer came out a year ago, right?
March.
I just want it.
I know. Well, and what's a bummer too is that I think a lot of what happens in that movie affect the rest of the universe. You would think that they need to really be careful about when stuff is released. And so I don't know. I'm wondering why it's taking so long to like Wonder Woman finally gave in. Can't you? You know?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, like I'll pay $20 to watch it at home, y'all.
I know.
Give me it.
I'll pay $30. I'll pay $50. Right. Fine. Give me a White Claw and I'll pay for it.
Heck yeah. Like,
I know.
At home, my sweatpants, watching Black Widow would be amazing. Like, we had to watch like 500 dude movies in Marvel. Like, can you just give us this one lady one, please?
Thank you. Seeing Ahsoka on the Mandalorian last week, I like started crying. Like, it was amazing. So good. And then you have this week, Natalie Portman, the Mighty Thor, Lady Thor. Mm-hmm. She was on. What was she on? I don't know. One of the talk shows with an older white male. And with his name that starts with J, probably. She has been in Australia filming and has, it's been confirmed that she will be the Mighty Thor. And so it's like, I just feel like I'm excited for all of that this year. I'm ready for it. It's been time. Like, let's go.
Yes. And it does feel like, especially with TV, like there's really not much in the way of TV coming out. Mm-hmm. All we can hope for is like the movies that were filmed well before coronavirus to start like trickling into our lives and giving us something else to look at besides everything that is like on fire around us. Mm-hmm. Like, give us the things. Give it to us. And like, I realize it's not going to be traditional and you're not going to make blockbuster money because nobody can line up around the block 6 feet apart. Like, come on, people. And if our freaking kids can get with it and like do virtual school, you can give us our movies at home.
Give us our movies at home. We bought a new TV for this. Like,
same. Like, we have a very nice to watch it TV. We have our little stereo system. Like, I would watch that.
Your stereo system?
Yeah.
Is that still like a thing?
Listen here, youngster. It's a Bose surround sound.
I got my stereo system hooked up, guys, and it's all plugged into my surround sound speakers.
It's like you're right there with Thor. It's so cool. So excited.
I love it. I think it's wonderful.
It is cool.
Mm-hmm. It's very cool. It's very cool.
But it's a surround sound system. And it makes you feel like I'm in the theater.
Yeah.
Or hanging out with the vendors, Mm-hmm. Whatever. I love it. The walls shake.
I love it too.
It's pretty fun.
I love that for you, truly, in my heart. Okay. So the last thing I have on my really formal list here to talk about is what you're currently binging. Tell me.
Okay, so I always have like layers of this. Right. So I have things that I watch with my kids. Uh-huh. Right now we're doing a full-scale Liv and Maddie rewatch, which was a Disney show starring Dove Cameron, who plays both sisters.
She's from Descendants, right? That's why the girls are obsessed. Yeah. Okay.
So she plays both sisters. And like, I am still, even though like, obviously I know like that stuff's super possible, very impressed with how they do that. And it's funny. I have to watch a lot of nonsense as a mom. Okay. I actually enjoy it. And like, I like laugh at this one. So I'm watching that with my kids. Okay. We are also watching this like really weird anime. So this is after the little one goes to bed. This is next year. This is with the older daughter.
The preteen,
We're watching Inashu. I can't remember how to say it, but it is an anime that is very popular. And he's like a half demon, half human. And she is a human who is descendant from this like assassin girl. It's like a whole thing. Okay. It's ridiculous and I love it. On my own, I am rewatching full scale, full attention, not skipping any episodes this time, watching Dawson's Creek.
I love it.
It's so much more angsty than I thought. And like the age that they would be like a year older than me and your husband in like high school. I'm like, where were these problems when I was in high school? I was just like, what musical are we gonna do next? Like what? Like I wasn't talking about sex and whatever they're doing. I was like, oh, but like who's gonna be in Hello Dolly? Like so super nerd right here. But so I'm watching that and like absolutely loving it, loving the fact that they're like explaining texting to each other. My God, like the nostalgia. Because I remember when like I had to learn how to text and smartphones weren't a thing yet. And then The Undoing I'm watching with Mike. We just started it, so like we're only a couple in. Yeah, a short binge, but we also, once we're done with that, we're going to start The Expanse, which comes back for its new season. I think like next month, he said. So I've never watched it, but Mike loves it, and he loves the books. He's going to start reading those. So we're going all in. So he's already watched all of it. He loved it, so I'm going to dive in with him. So those are my tiers.
I love it. The Expanse is great. We watched the first season and then for some reason or another stopped. Not because we didn't like it, but maybe I'll start that up when you guys do, so we can talk about it. We're watching. So finish The Undoing. Mm-hmm. I've never seen The Sopranos.
Really?
I know.
So I've never watched all of it either, so I can't judge. But yeah.
So we watched. We started that from the beginning. I've seen the finale because I've been suggested to study that as like, I don't know, writing thing. So, which is weird, but whatever. I'm still enjoying it. What else? We're rewatching Veep. Just because we just love it, and it's like they're only like 23 minutes or something silly like that. Rewatching that. I'm also watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Absurd. Meg, this is absurd. I know you don't love the garbage TV that is Real Housewives like I do, but I mean,
can I tell you something? I have never ever seen a full episode of Real Housewives anything, and it's not because I'm like anti.
Right.
I just think like I just never go there. Like I never click on that channel.
It's so I mean, to me, top tier television is the early seasons of Game of Thrones, Buffy, all the things. And then you have seasons 9 through 11 of Real Housewives of New York. And it's just a damn gift, okay? It's a gift. And I stand by that, all right? Like, it's just so good. I mean, and sometimes with these, sorry, I have like a curl fell. And when like a curl falls and you're like, where are you? Like,
because it's like part of it touches you, but not all of it.
Oh my God. It's driving me crazy. I mean, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills last year, I can't even talk about.
How many are there? Like, how many cities are there?
Well, currently airing. Mm-hmm. Potomac, Salt Lake City, Orange County, airing meaning still running. Mm-hmm. Dallas, which I've not watched. New York. New Jersey. New Jersey's also great. New Jersey's good. It's picked back up the last couple seasons. But I'm telling you right now, these Real Housewives of Salt Lake City are... You just watch the pilot. Or not the pilot. Watch season 1, episode 1.
Okay.
Just do me a favor. Pour some wine. Watch it. I would love... I think that would be a fun experiment for you, is a live tweet of starting your Real Housewives journey. I subscribe to that.
I've never, and like I'm not anti, like I'll watch anything.
I know.
Like, literally anything. But I've never watched that. I've never watched The Bachelor. And like I'm always like curious because everyone's so into it when it happens. I just never got on that boat, I guess.
I enjoyed The Bachelor / Bachelorette. It was something I did with my sister-in-law, so like that was the thing. Mm-hmm. But like, I need me a good CW stare, some drama. I love a good confessional. So I think that's why I lean into The Bachelor Nation or whatever. But it's also like, I just can't. So that's where I'm at. I know there's like a million other things that I should be watching. Oh, and we're doing Hallmark now.
I saw you tag me in one. And No, it wasn't Hallmark. It was Lifetime with Lucas from One Tree Hill.
And Jessica from 90210 reboot.
Yes, we should definitely watch that.
We need to watch that and recap that. We actually watched. So I've noticed that the older meaning like more than 5 years ago Hallmark movies are like way more deep than the ones they're pushing out now. Like there was one with Joey Lawrence and she's on Schitt's Creek. She works at the motel.
Oh, okay, Stevie.
Yeah, Stevie. And it was like very emotional. There was a lot going on.
Wow, okay.
Like they were like, it started as a Hallmark movie, like let's be each other's like holiday dates, and they put an ad on, Jim's List, and they got together. And then it was like, I don't trust women because you would leave in the middle of making dinner for days on end, Mom. And you're like, what? The one that just converted to Judaism? Like I did not. This is only 65 minutes. Like how? But I was invested. And then there was another one, Broadcasting Christmas with Dean Cain and Melissa Joan Hart. I could not. The whole time I kept thinking about that Amy Schumer joke where she's at, I forget whose roast it is. I think it's Charlie Sheen. And she looks at William Shatner and she's like, Jesus, what happened to you? Is Priceline paying you in empanadas? He just looked like he chugged. This is not body shaming. It was like he looked like he needed a glass of water. Like I was like, you were on set. Like hydrate.
Right.
I don't know what was happening. So that there was that one, and then there was one with Jewel State where Jewel State and Ray Romano's mom was like magic, but you didn't know if she was magic. And there was an FAO. There was an FAO Schwartz. And then at the end, a dad came home from war.
Of course, yeah.
Right. And then there were a bunch of train sets. And then, so that one was a good one. But so that's what we've been doing.
And Rick will watch these with you?
He loves it. Because we roast them the whole time. These are the nights.
It was great.
We just like pound wine and forget about everything else.
It's the best you can do in 2020.
I know. So I need your recommendations for other Hallmark cinematic classics.
Oh my gosh, I will definitely send you a list, but off the top of my head. So
don't let it be a DJ Tanner one, because that bitch makes you pay extra, and it's like, I already subscribed to the stupid Hallmark app, and then it's like, pay an extra $49.95 for DJ Tanners, and I'm like, Candace, no.
Right? Like, you look amazing. I love you. But no. So I am of the more of like the freeform ABC Family Christmas movies. I love.
Let me note it.
Yes, okay. Please make a note. I love Holiday in Handcuffs. With AC Slater and Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Shut up.
It's so good.
Holiday in Handcuffs. Okay. Sold.
She basically kidnaps him and makes him be her fake boyfriend at her holiday Christmas.
Okay.
And the fact that he like goes along with it is fascinating. They also eat Oreos. It's a big plot point. Just be aware that you're going to want Oreos. Maybe get some before you watch it.
Okay.
Just saying. I also really like 12 Dates of Christmas with Amy Smart and Zach Morris.
Oh.
I'm sure people know, like, obviously they have real names, but when you become an iconic character, that's what you'll be called. AC Slater and Zach Morris.
Have you seen the reboot? Because people are loving it.
Oh my God, I'm going to start it with my oldest daughter.
Okay, good.
She's never actually watched Saved by the Bell, and I love Saved by the Bell, and I definitely want to watch it, but I think she'll enjoy it for its campiness. She loves when I, like, roll my eyes at anything, so she thinks
when I wake up in the morning it's so good. Okay.
Yeah. On board. So those are like my two favorites.
Okay. I live. All right, well, we got some good binges, guys. I'm really excited about this. Meg and I are going to try and do this weekly. Weekly, like let's just do like every Thursday night. We're just gonna throw that out there right now. How about every Thursday night we're gonna be doing these streams. We'll give some stuff away if you guys want to win some stuff. And so follow at @pure_fandom on the Twitters. I mean, if you're watching on Twitter, you're already here. But tweet us different things that you want us to talk about. What you are loving to watch right now? What's in your binge queue?
You want us to watch and talk about?
What do you want us to watch? Give us some recommendations. This is what we're here for. And yeah, just geek out with us. This was so much fun. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for organizing it on your little notepad.
Can I tell you this right now? This is going to be a plug for one of my friends. Look at this cute little notebook.
Okay, that's adorable. Where's that from?
So giftsuite.com, you guys. It was co-founded by this wonderful woman named Sangeeta and Phoenix Normand. And Phoenix Normand is fan-freaking-tastic. I'm obsessed with him. He is he's a former executive assistant to big-time C-suites, and now he's just like a thought leader, and he's innovator, and he's just doing all sorts of stuff. But Gift Suite, they're like luxury gift boxes primarily for corporate, but you can give them to anybody. And almost, if not all, of the products are from Black, Indigenous, people of color owned businesses, female owned businesses, LGBTQ. He's amazing. Like they have one here, one of these that says Ally on the top, and they're just, I'm obsessed. So check out giftsuite.com. They have a lot of holiday specials going on. I love him. So
is it sweet like SWEET or sweet like SUIT?
It is like, you know what? Guess what I can do?
Drop it in the comments.
Swimming pool. Giftsuite.com. Let's see if this works. Look at that. Check it out. They're amazing. So fun for Christmas gifts, and you're going to support some independent minority-owned businesses. Do it.
That's
do it.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for chatting with me. I had a great time.
Thank you, girl. I heart you so much.
Same to you.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.